Aquarius rising, hi, this is your video. Okay, so this is a little bit about your story. All right, now obviously you have to get your natal chart read, XYZ, right? Look at your planets, your aspects. This will tell you your entire story, but I mean, we're gonna give you a little bit of insight. I mean, why not? We're here, right? That's what we're gonna do. So which vehicle are you driving in this lifetime as an Aquarius rising? I mean, I feel like the only thing I can really genuinely say is a UFO, because it's the only thing as an Aquarius rising right now that we even know of that we could possibly say a UFO, all right? Because that's just an Aquarius rising. You guys are just different. Y'all ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So you guys have to look for these planets and see what you're about. But Saturn and Aquarius is just ready to break the revolution, and Aquarius and Uranus is the great awakener. So that's just who you are, and wherever Aquarius is where we rebel, and you are literally the rebel, baby. That is on your aura, it is on your outside. I don't care how quiet you are, I don't care how reserved you are, I don't care how hidden you are. There's something about your energy where people are just like, that's different, you know? There's something about you that gets underneath people's skin. Let me tell you, Aquarius energy makes people feel some type of way. You either highly motivated or highly agitated by Aquarius energy. And that's just that on that. There's like no in between with it, okay? You either hate it or you love it. Because Aquarius always challenges you to break the revolution within yourself and get to the next level and have a great awakening within yourself, and make sure that you're breaking boundaries within yourselves, because Uranus is breakthroughs, okay? Breakdowns and breakthroughs, baby, okay? Because through your breakdown, you have a breakthrough, baby, all right? It is literally that. So when we're talking about y'all Aquarius risings, okay, Uranus is also the coldest planet. This is why y'all could come off real cold, real curt, real dry, real just like to the point. Y'all are air sign, okay? Fixed as well. So it's, listen, like, we don't need to talk at all. We don't need to say anything. This, what Aquarius rising is like, I'm just gonna float over here because I'm past all your shit. That's what you guys are. You're always on to the future, always on to the next one, always on to the next level as Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising is the progressor, is the revolutionary, is the community leader, is the person that makes sure that everybody is together, is the collective, okay? It's always a we-oriented energy. This is Aquarius rising. You're always thinking about us. This is why you guys are detached from your emotional state, even when it comes to your personal shit, because Aquarius rising, you would think you would take shit personal, but see, the thing is, you take shit personal on behalf of the community. So it's like I don't even know if you know how to take shit personal for real, because you still think on behalf for everybody else. You're like, nah, but we got to do this for X, Y, Z. So that's interesting about Aquarius, you know, rising. You guys are innovators. You guys make sure that and that's why you guys have big dreams, you know. You always look past what you want to look past, because you have something to give to the collective. You have a bigger thing to offer, you know. So this is why you guys could just be very dry, cutthroat, to the point, different, strange, awkward. I feel like you guys are intentionally strange and awkward, so you guys can kind of fend off all the motherfuckers who can't even decipher the language that you're choosing to speak. Aquarius rising choose to speak a different language. They know what the fuck they doing. Y'all know what the fuck y'all doing. Y'all just trying to be weird, because you're like, if you call me weird, then what the fuck? Y'all looking around the earth talking about y'all calling me weird, and y'all looking around the earth talking about, really though? Like, y'all calling me weird, y'all be okay, whatever. Let me get to you, be weird then. It's just like y'all do that shit on purpose. You alienate yourself on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing. It's like, don't get me wrong, as Aquarius rising, you grew up, people alienated you. You were just different. Whether it be some fucked up shit where like you just felt like you weren't wanted, you know, you felt like you personally weren't wanted, or you felt like you were just different, you know, in your group or in your family. It's just you as a person were an issue for some reason. I don't know. Honey, I get it. I get it. Okay, so in your second house, you have Pisces. And then Pisces in your second house, this is the things that you value, things that you own, how you're with money, and you're not good with these things because Pisces is where we lose things, all right? It's where we practice escapism as well. It's where we practice we have no fucking boundaries, all right? That's where we Pisces, no boundaries at all. So in the second house, you have no boundaries sometimes when it comes to your body. You have no boundaries when it comes to the things that you own. You feel like you need to share everything, and even down to your body, because Taurus rules the body, it rules the five senses. So it's like when you have this type of energy, you really have to think about why you're doing what you're doing and why you're giving what you're giving. You guys are very, very philanthropic, always giving to everybody, but when do you give to yourself? You know, that's something that you really have to think of, because when you're we oriented all the time, you're making decisions on behalf of the collective, and you have to think, is that really authentic all the time? You know, you have to start using your intuition when it comes to your finances. You have to start using and meditating. I know it sounds crazy, but like meditate before you purchase that shit. Like you really need to do shit like that, because you will go ahead and just give things out and wonder why. You know, you can definitely do it so much shit that you end up in homelessness, because again, Aquarius rising just want to do shit different. You want to do everything different. So when it comes to money, it's almost like you can demonize money, and you can feel like it doesn't belong, like it shouldn't be a thing. You know, it shouldn't be a thing because it's not. It holds no compassion. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, you know, but at the same time, if we just have to see it as a tool, we have to see it for what it is, which is a tool, just like the internet is a tool. You know, books are a tool for knowledge that our gut probably already knows if we just didn't listen to everybody else, right? So, you know, wherever Pisces is, it causes chaos and confusion when it comes to your self-esteem. So you really have to make sure that you're paying attention to that area of your life. Make sure you're going by an ocean, a body of water, doing water therapy. This could really help your body get back to some self-esteem and really help you calm any emotions down and reconnect to emotions. You know what I'm saying? Especially doing water therapy. So in the third house, we have Aries, and this is where you want to be first. So you could be quick to cut niggas off. Like, this gives you more Aquarius rising situation, but you could just be quick to be like, no, bitch, you know, I already motherfucking know. You can be an impulsive talker, an impulsive thinker. You could think before you speak. I mean, you could speak before you think. See how I fucked that up? You could speak before you think, type of thing, because you just feel as if you've known better, because, you know, you're an Aquarius rising and you've just seen different kind of shit. And, you know, could be true, but Aries here just makes you a pioneer, makes you a thinker, but it's also where we tend to be childish and where we try to always prove that we can be best, but we're not the best all the time, because we still need to learn and we need to temper ourselves. So make sure you're tempering, you know, your words and stuff, because honey, you could be a little asshole when you curse people out. Because that's Aries energy. I don't care what nobody says. That's like cutting you with a knife, baby. But that's also great for people who are lawyers and debaters, and you know, when you need that energy to cut people down and be like, nah, we ain't talking about none of this. I'm about to debate you with all these facts. But you can definitely be a motivational speaker, especially if you have a third house stellium. Like, you could be a motivational, inspirational speaker, some type of life coach with, you know, 12th house, third house situation. You can totally do that, because people will listen to what you say. You get people fired up when you talk your shit. Yes, so talk your shit. Then the fourth house you had in Taurus. Okay, so you pretty much had, depending on where it is, but you pretty much had a stable life, a stable home. You have Venus in the home, so you pretty much had a stable home, depending on if there's planets in there, and that will alter the story. But more than like you had a stable home, and you know, a home surrounded with plants. If not, you have it now, plants, and or a home by nature, things like that. Just a very beautiful home, and you know, that's what's interesting as an Aquarius rising. You know, you're the issue, but your home was beautiful. So it's like, damn, do I even belong here? That was probably the question you had most of the time. Do I even belong here? But there was a sense of security and comfort when it came to your home and your lifestyle. Probably most likely had a pretty decent relationship with your mother. I think that she most likely embraced your differentness and your awkwardness and things like that. You know what I'm saying? For when it came to your mother, or she was at least stable in some kind of way, shape, or form with Taurus there. And Taurus there, you definitely need a place that's just comfortable and secure and safe and just plush. You know what I'm saying? A lot of textures and a lot of scents in the home and all that kind of stuff. Now, the fifth house you have in Gemini. So you might have, did you change schools a lot? Let me know. I'm wondering. See, this is where you might have rebelled. So your ass might have been so rebellious that you changed schools a lot with Gemini sitting there. But Gemini in the fifth house is also how your romance is, your casual lifestyle, your creative. You're probably a writer, a person who verbally communicates a lot or thinks a lot about your creativity and is that kind of creative person. And when you have Gemini on the fifth house, I feel like you probably hung out with like a bunch of different people in like high school and things like that, or you were just not a part of a clique. You were around a bunch of different little people, you know what I'm saying? With Gemini there, you could definitely, as you got older, definitely have some bi-curiosity in your casual dating years, all right? Because Gemini is here, and that's what our casual romance is. You might end up having twins, honey, honestly, with that Gemini sitting on that fifth house, honey. Let me know if you're an Aquarius rising with twins. But you might definitely end up having twins. So, yeah, but with Gemini on the fifth house, I just feel like you probably like to go out to different places at night, like we're gonna start at this bar, then we're gonna go to this restaurant, then we're gonna go to this club, and we just you just want to go all over the place. You're like a little busy bee. Definitely tapped in with a lot of different things. You have the numbers to all the different parties and the hookups. Very connected, very networky. You know what I'm saying? You like to use your connections when you're out. Show off who you know type of shit. Now, your sixth house is in Cancer. So very interesting. You need to learn how to take care of your emotions every day. That's where you need to serve yourself first. Okay, it might have felt a bit of a servant to your mother. Your mother might have felt like she was a servant to you at some point, but you guys kind of have like this reciprocal energy, okay, or this servitude type of energy. And you need to learn how to mother yourself. You need to learn how to mother your emotions every day. You need to learn how to honor your emotions every day. I know it sounds hard, but you need to learn how to honor your emotions. This is why water therapy, once again, is really important for you. Taking a long hot bath or shower every single day is very much necessary and very much worth your time. It will give you a different type of clarity. You might work near water. If you don't, you should work near a body of water, because you have Cancer there, whether it be a river or a lake or a pond or something, okay? But definitely with Cancer here, you could have stomach issues, all right, because you have like the moon there. So you could definitely have digestive issues. So make sure that you're watching what you're eating. This is very important, making sure that you're watching what's harvested at what time of the year, because you have the moon here. So it's all about harvest season. So you have to eat on season, especially as an Aquarius rising, to make sure that you're really watching your digestive system. And also you get psychologically attached to food. So making sure that you really see about your food and food intake and what your psychology is around food and how you feel about it, okay? Now, the seventh house is in Leo. Your friends, honey, they stand out, okay? They're 101, baby. You like them like that. You like them flashy. You like them fly. You like them big. You like them. You like niggas who stand out. Like, why not? If we gonna do it, we gonna do it. If the communities fly, if you fly, I'll fly. We all fly. I feel like that's the type of energy most times. If not, and you're vibrating low, you're drawing in narcissists and people who are very arrogant and who are all about themselves and do not build your confidence. But when you're high vibrational, honey, your Leo type friends are pouring into you and like loving on you and making you feel good and making and celebrating you, you know what I'm saying, and pushing you to stand out. Your real Seventh house, Leo-ish friends will push you to stand out on your own, because as an Aquarius rising, you have a lot of gifts. So the reason is that you love people who stand out and are in the crowd. You know, you probably have a lot of artists as friends, and or people who just stand out. Like any Leo type of jobs are people who talk in the front, you know, even on YouTube, being a teacher, you know, being a debater, being a lawyer, people who stand out on the crowd. And as Aquarius rising, you probably sit there like, damn, I want to do that. I want to talk about shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why an Aquarius rising would be more comfortable on the internet, because they can talk their shit here one-on-one by themselves, but they're getting that feedback. You know, it's not in front of a live crowd. But there's something different with a live crowd that they really admire. That's why they'll have that Leo as friend, you know, that live friend, animated friends. They like it. They like people who are a good time, fiery and spicy. Talk this shit, you know what I'm saying? Period. So then the 8th house we have in Virgo. Okay, let me find out you're a server in bed though. Aquarius rising, let me figure it out. Let me figure you out. Okay, let me figure out. See, this is tricky, because you might see sex as a service, and it's something that you have to do, and it's something that you're committed to doing, and not something that's for you and for fun, right? This is why Aquarius rising energy, and I'll do videos on these later, but Aquarius rising energy is very interesting. Is it for you, or is it for everybody? You know what I'm saying? You have to start valuing how to really put your boundaries up, Pisces, in the 2nd house, right? You have to value how to put your boundaries up and practice some discernment. And also some self-compassion is really, really important. And self-healing. Sex could be really healing for you, because Virgo is the healer. Okay, now in the 8th house, it could be very healing. Now, on the flip side there, you could definitely know about people's petty shit, and you could have receipts of all type of shit in your phone, depending on what kind of Aquarius you are. Most Aquarius wait for that kind of shit, but you guys get all kinds of messages. You be knowing all kinds of dirt on all your friends and shit. You just like, why do I know all this shit? Damn, but y'all be knowing all of that shit, because Virgo there knows all of the details. So don't lie to an Aquarius rising, because I promise you, they'll always know. Now the 9th house for you guys is in Libra. All right, so with the 9th house in Libra, you learn the most from your one-on-one relationships. It's like your one-on-one relationships are your mentors, you know, they're your individual mentors, things like that. That's what's cool about this placement for Aquarius rising. You guys really know how to learn from everybody. You value learning from everybody, which is a really dope attribute to have as a human being, and really seeing that every single person has something to say. So with Libra on the 9th house, you really see that. You see there's a balance, you know, between all of it, between being human, between being a spirit, between being religious, between this, that, and the third. You see the balance of it all, and that's what keeps you interested. That's why you like having conversations about it. That's why you like talking to different people about what they believe and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, really interesting placement. I feel like you love to travel with your friends, especially your best friends, you know, things like that. You really love to go far and have a great time with them, and people who appreciate you and support you. And you just want to find mentors who are supportive of you and really help you build your network and your relationships, things like that. And really are a mirror for you, you know, showing you where you're at in life and where you're going to be and where you're headed and things like that. So yeah, really holding integrity in your relationships is also really important to you, you know. Now the 10th house, you have Scorpio, so you're trying to reinvent yourself as a very private person, a person who's more low-key. I feel like with your Aquarius nature, or always being for the family, being available for everybody else, you kind of just want to be a little bit reserved. It's not that you don't want to work with people. You love working with people, but you need some privacy. You need some, you know, some protection. You need to feel, and you need some power too. You need some ownership and an emotional sense and a vulnerable sense. You need a space of intimacy. You know, make sure that you're not getting too obsessed at work. Okay, you could be too obsessed with work with this placement, too obsessed with getting it done and my career and blah, blah, blah. Once again, not paying attention to yourself and your own needs and everything that you need and want in this lifetime. is that Scorpio energy can be very, very heavy, right? Finding out a lot of secrets about your boss, things like that. Now, make sure to not have sex at work, okay? Like at all, because that's just not the vibe. Unless y'all go, you know, y'all agree on like quitting or some shit, like you quit and then y'all can date afterwards. But with Scorpio here, honey, Lord Jesus, scandalous, okay? Lord, it could just be coming up, and a lot of power dynamics and manipulation and stuff like that, right? There could definitely be jealousy and envy between you and your boss. That's what I'm saying, like stay away from that. You don't want none of that drama, baby. The Scorpio in the 10th house, baby, especially in the public arena, people will know you for that, right? So Scorpio energy can choose to either be the destroyer or the healer. So that's what you want to think about when you're in your career field. You know, you want to be in the business of transforming people for the better, I think. I don't know. I mean, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But Scorpio in that house just basically makes you a person who is able to help people heal, you know, on a very psychological level. You know, you might just be into psychology for real. For real. So, on the 11th house, you have Sagittarius. So this is like your network, you know, like happy hour, your hopes and your dreams. And you have big ones. You have a lot of big goals, big lofty goals. And I know you can do it. You can do whatever you want, point blank period, okay? You're an Aquarius rising, you're a radiant innovator. But with Sagittarius here, you definitely love, again, people from all different cultures, backgrounds, okay? You love people who are innovative and creative, and people with big personalities, okay? Jupiter, people who take up a lot of space, people who have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and who are your gurus. You kind of see your friends and your tribe as your gurus, and like I said, as your mentors and people who teach you things, you know? But you can also create distance between you and your friends, and literally, like you might choose far away friends or people to be friends with far away for a reason. I mean, you might want to look into that. You might not want to. I don't know. It's none of my business. Do your thing. It's not up to me. But, you know, you have this distance thing that you like to create with that. And with those people in your life, you know. And so the 11th house in Sagittarius too, I feel as if your friends are very optimistic, you know, and your future is very optimistic and hopeful, and you know that. That's the way that you see it, and that's the way that you know about it. And you don't mind the hard work, you know. You don't mind doing that. I don't really think, you know, I don't really think that you mind. I mean, let me take that back about the hard work, because here, look, the 12th house is in Capricorn, right? And so it's like, y'all scared of hard work, and y'all fearful of discipline and structure and time. If anything, it's really like time. I don't even want to know if it's like hard work, but I mean, it's time, because hard work is a relative thing. For some people, it just comes natural, you know. But time, it's like you don't want to lose time. You don't want to run out of time. You don't want to not be able to fulfill your legacy and be able to really follow through on the bigger goals that you had, you know, to really build this thing up. It's as if, and it's also as if your spirituality is delayed with Capricorn on the 12th, you know. It almost feels like it's harder, or there's more delays in finding your spiritual side and your even more compassionate and forgiving side. It's like you could have had a lot of conversations about compassion and forgiveness and hopefulness, but it's just much more difficult for you to even have patience for that, you know. Again, with your Aquarius rising, I'm telling you, it's cutthroat, straight. Listen, I just got shit to do. Like, we got to do it. And Capricorn here is asking you to build some faith with your patience, some faith and discipline, and really understanding that there's a legacy that there can be built inside of spirituality, and that self-care and that self-nurturing with Cancer on the 6th house, you know, is going to go in tandem with that legacy that you're building in the 12th house. And that's actually where your legacy lies, is where your Capricorn is. Okay, that's where your true legacy is. It's a spiritual legacy. It's a forgiving legacy and a compassionate legacy. A legacy that helps the underdogs and the people who are lost and forgotten. The people that are in, asylums and mental institutions and prisons and things like that. Those are the people that need it the most, that help that you're so willing to offer and that you want everyone to come together to do, you know. Capricorn is, you know, forgiving your father and forgiving the men in your life and those male structures, you know, and how you view and interact with that, because Capricorn, you know, traditionally was the 10th, and that's our interaction with our father and how we feel about that energy. And definitely not fearing the discipline to feel. And I know it sounds so weird, but like not feeling the discipline to feel and to really tap in and to really nurture yourself and to really create an emotional security blanket for yourself that you can go up on under, you know, when you're losing faith and you're tapping more into fear and you're feeling hopeless about humanity. Because as much as Aquarius rising, I know you guys, you know, you love humanity. I mean, shit, sometimes that should be hard. Like, damn. Fuck. You know, it just, but time is an illusion. You know, time is in your mind, right? With the Pisces on the 3rd. I mean, Pisces on the 2nd. The way that you value time, the illusion that you're sifting through, you have to become more clear with that, you know. You have to become more clear with that. You know, it's paying attention to the darkness that's going to bring you guys the most clarity, the most illumination, the most light, and also the most patience, for real. Because once you start valuing the little details of the unknown in a way not to necessarily get answers or to be right, but in a way to build your relationship with spirit and faith in yourself first, you know, I feel like you guys will have more excitement for the collective, and not even just for the collective, but really for yourself, you know, because this is really about you. The journey is about self-awareness, and fighting for others means nothing if you can never fight for yourself. So I hope you liked that video, Aquarius rising. Let me know what you thought, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.